So what are my personal views on Creflo Dollar going to jail over arguing and allegedly attacking his daughter? Well, like the two videos I dropped yesterday on Lauryn Hill and Gwyneth Paltrow, this Creflo Dollar situation with his daughter, in my opinion, is something of a worldly nature that cannot advance the elevation of the soul. Now, I plan to give insight into the situation because I think that many of the subscribers or the people watching this video could learn something, especially if, you're a parent and you're dealing with teen children, coming of age. But on a deeper spiritual level, there's nothing in these accounts of Creflo Dollar, Lauryn Hill and her tax case, and Gwyneth Paltrow's tweeting of niggas in Paris for real. Nothing, none of these things are going to elevate the soul. None of these things, as far as you and I are concerned as individuals, is going to help us on our soul journey. Now, I don't want to say that there's not beneficial information on a mundane realm or level that cannot be extracted from the Creflo Dollar, Gwyneth Paltrow, Lauryn Hill situations. I don't want to say that because you can learn from any and everything. But these things are mundane because taxes only exist on the third dimensional realm. All this partying, late night partying, and smoking marijuana and drinking alcohol and having sex in the wee hours of the night, and all the stuff we do here in the Matrix on this 3D realm doesn't exist on any other realm. Niggas don't exist on any other realm. There are no niggas in the cosmos. You're not gonna find no niggas in the universe. Niggas only exist on planet Earth. So this is all mundane stuff. I don't trip. I don't trip when you guys ask me for my opinions. I think what a lot of you guys don't know is I get asked a lot about my opinion on a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of stuff. And to me, my opinions on a lot of stuff is totally irrelevant, at least as far as I'm concerned. No disrespect to those of you who are asking the questions or sending the inquiries, no disrespect to you, but to me, it's just my opinion. I think at the end of the day, what really matters is what you think of these things. But I do respect the fact that a lot of you find my opinions and my insight on various things, various topics, various subject matters to be fascinating, interesting, insightful, etc. So I do respect that, and that's why I make the videos. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a fan of Creflo Dollar. I don't follow Creflo Dollar. But at the same time, I understand that there are a lot of people out there who know of him, and a lot of people are serving as watchdogs for these prosperity ministers out there teaching the prosperity gospel, and just a whole bunch of things. And it's all part of the world, and it's not like I'm oblivious as to what's going on to the world. The things you're hearing about is just going on with well-known people. This type of stuff goes on every day. It just happens to be Creflo Dollar, somebody in the spotlight. Gwyneth Paltrow, somebody in the spotlight. Lauryn Hill, somebody in the spotlight. But all this stuff, man, that's going on that I've made in these past 3 videos, including this video, it's stuff that happens every day to everyday people, average people, normal people. So, again, for people out there, dealing with this 3D existence, I'm quite sure you can extract some beneficial information from these videos. Now, the whole Creflo Dollar thing, from my research, I think it's unfortunate for Creflo. I'm going to side with Creflo Dollar in this video because I understand where he was coming from as a father, and I understand where he's coming from as a Christian. That's his faith, the Christian faith. Creflo is the father in this case, and he's 50 years of age. He's accomplished a lot. I wouldn't call the man an ignoramus. The man is very skilled in scripture, and even though there's the argument that there's a lot of falsehood and contradictions in the scripture, and the scriptures based upon ancient mythology, the 16 crucified saviors, etc., 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 there's a lot of good in that book that can benefit people if people understand it and live by it. So I give the benefit of the doubt to Creflo Dollar. I think he's a smart guy, and he knows the society in which he's in. And you have a situation where it's 1 o'clock in the morning and a 15-year-old girl, a teenager, wants to go to a party. Now that's really to be expected here in the Matrix. That's really to be expected, and that's what teenagers do, male or female. That's what they do. They do the party thing. You know, it's almost like a rite of passage here in the Matrix. And you know, and that's cool. You know, teenagers, young people going to parties, having a good time. But at 1 o'clock in the morning, nah. I mean, you can have a party. Your party can start at 3 o'clock p.m. when the sun is still out. You know, why does it have to go down at dark? You see, why in the night? You know, when you deal with crime and low vibrations and just, you know, things of a low density nature, not all of it, but a lot of it goes down at nighttime. A lot of it goes down at nighttime. And see, the issue that I have with things going down at night as an individual who does his best to live in accord with nature, we're supposed to be asleep in the AM hours. I mean, we really are. You know, we're supposed to be asleep from 11 p.m. to at least 7 o'clock a.m. 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. That's 8 hours of sleep. Now, all of us don't need 8 hours of sleep, especially those of us who are quark reversal. And I understand you're probably going to try to look up that term, quark reversal. Don't worry, I got a video coming out called Quark Reversals versus Unilinears. Quark reversals are creative people. They are free thinkers. They're visionaries. They're risk takers. And they're usually up during the wee hours of the night. So they are an exception to the rule. But I'll cover more of the quark reversals in a separate video. Now, most people who are unilinears, and the unilinears are your 9-to-5ers, your pro-establishment people, your conformists. You know, those people need to be asleep from 11 p.m. to 7 o'clock a.m. They're not creative, and they're dependent upon others in corporate jobs for a living. They're not movers and shakers of society. They're just spark plugs. No offense. No, I don't mean to offend anyone. I'm just, when you break down quark reversals versus unilinears and you study the definitions, then, you know, you see that, you know, there are certain people who are quark reversals who are very creative, very talented, and they're creating in the wee hours of the night. And you look at the unilinears and you see that, you know, these are people who don't want to do nothing in life. They're not creating nothing. They just work a job. They live for the weekends. You know, I mean, it is what it is. It exists. You're either quark reversal or unilinear. And there are a lot of unilinears when you understand what a unilinear is. Most people work a job and depend on somebody else to make a living rather than themselves. Quark reversals depend on themselves. Unilinears depend on someone else. So this little girl wants to go out at 1 o'clock in the morning. No, you're supposed to be going in at 1 o'clock in the morning. You're supposed to be coming in. I can understand if you've been out since 5, 6, 7 o'clock p.m. and you coming in at 1 a.m. But to be going out makes a big statement. It's always made a statement to me. Always. I mean, it's something I can't do now, you know. My man Daryl Mooney, he's a conscious comedian. And, you know, over the past year, year and a half, he's invited me to certain acts, comedic acts of him and his brother Dwayne. And I'm supporters of the Mooney twins. These are some very funny cats. Unique cats because they're conscious. They stimulate thought through their comedy act. And I give them props for that. But a lot of the shows was, you know, in the PM hours, the late PM hours, 9 o'clock PM. And it's just not in me. And so one time Daryl said, you can't, you know, come to a show late at night, but you up on Facebook and you typing. And that's so true because if I'm in my house or this apartment here, time don't matter. It could be 9, 10, 11, 12, I'm up. But if you take me out to the movie theaters and just take me out of society, I get sleepy. It's like it's an inbred protective mechanism. When I was in Atlanta, my wife wanted to go to the movies to see The Avengers. And the movie started at 9:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we were still on California time. So it was like the movie started at 6:50 p.m. And I fell asleep. Well, I dozed off, I should say. I didn't fall asleep. I dozed off a lot in the movie. Because even out here on PST time, that's too late for me to be going out to the movies. If I don't catch a movie, say around 5:30, it's not going to work for me. You know, I'm a doze off. It's just something about being in society. It's like, again, it's an inbred protective mechanism. I just been like that for the majority of my life. I'm just better at home. I feel safer, more comfortable. You know, because I can fall asleep. If I'm out in society and I'm sleepy, I just can't just fall asleep. I can't do that. I just can't lay down on a bus stop. I just, you know, can't, you know, lay down at the table in a club. So I can't fall asleep in the seat of a movie theater. I care too much about myself to let something like that happen. So if I'm at home, I can just take off my clothes. I'm in the bed, boom. I'm asleep. I feel safe. I'm at home. So I noticed that even being in Atlanta and the time difference really didn't matter because for us as Californians, it was like almost 7 o'clock p.m., which was still too late for me to watch a movie. I like matinees. I've always enjoyed matinees. And it's just something about myself, programming myself to be in tune with nature. And when it gets dark, the body starts secreting melatonin. Melatonin makes us drowsy. That's why they sell melatonin, synthetic melatonin, on the shelves of health food stores. And for those of you who are taking melatonin, you need to find out the source of that melatonin. Because melatonin is something that you naturally produce. So why are you taking it from outside of yourself? If you just give your body what it needs, it will produce and secrete all the necessary melatonin from the pineal gland. And the pineal gland takes a hell of a hit in the matrix for those of you who are out in the wee hours of the night. For those of you who are out in the wee hours of the night, you're affecting the pineal gland. Because the pineal gland the human body, I should say, really needs to be in darkness for the pineal gland to produce and secrete that melatonin. See, when it's light, the pineal gland is thrown off because light causes the pineal gland to produce serotonin. And serotonin is a feel good hormone, so you kind of like up in things, right? But you're going against nature because you're not supposed to be up during the nighttime unless you are nocturnal, like certain animals are, carnivores are, you see. So your body is secreting serotonin and is producing and secreting, and I should say it's producing and secreting serotonin when it's supposed to be producing and secreting melatonin. So it throws off the gland. It causes confusion. So for you people who think, nah, man, serotonin is an anti-aging hormone. That's good. No, it's not. Because everything in the human body is regulated. So if serotonin is supposed to be produced and secreted when the sun is out, and because you're living against nature, now it's being produced and secreted at nighttime, you messing with the regulation. You're causing chaos. You're creating confusion. So you're throwing the body out of whack. The body knows best. Melatonin is supposed to be produced and secreted at nighttime. Serotonin is produced and secreted during the daylight hours. Now, if you want to be technical, the body is producing melatonin and serotonin all the time, but it's secreted at regulated times within the 24-hour day. And when you live in tune with nature, you respect that. So no matter what you want to do, because the matrix put it all in your head that you need to go to that party. But biology knows best. You need to be in the bed sleeping because the body heals at night. That's what they call a compulsive fasting, okay, where the body is compelled to fast. The body is compelled to fast. That's why in the morning you eat breakfast, which is 2 words: break, fast. Break fast. And when you understand the science of fasting, you break a fast with water, followed by fruit. See? And because we live against nature, because we really trying to do this matrix thing and do it well, not only do we violate the time we're supposed to be sleeping, we even violate the breaking of the fast. Because a lot of people who don't understand that sleeping is fasting, it's just automatic fasting. These people don't understand that, so they'll wake up and they'll break the fast with scrambled eggs, toast, pork sausage, oatmeal. You don't break a fast like that. You do damage like that. But see, that's the price you pay when you live against or outside of nature. See, nature has a law, and you always need to be inside that law in order to benefit from the law, because the law offers benefits. Now, even like in law, when you live outside of the law, they call you an outlaw. And an outlaw is a malefactor, a miscreant. And there are no benefits for the malefactor, only detriments. See, so when you live in accord with nature, you get benefits. Bene, B-E-N-E, as a prefix or even a morpheme, means good. And the opposite of benefit or beneficial is detriment or detrimental. And detra meaning bad. That's just how it is. And for the people who live the nightlife, Look at them over time. They age prematurely because when they should be sleeping, they're up smoking cigarettes, marijuana. They're up doing drugs. They're up drinking alcohol, which is a poison, intoxicant. They're up having low density sexual activity, sexual intercourse, which is energy consuming, which helps to, cause premature aging. You're burning a lot of energy in that act. They're up eating. Remember, this is the time you're supposed to be fasting. I mean, it's just total living against nature, man. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it. You're just totally living against nature. You're harming yourself under the guise that you're having a good time. And a lot of people are like that. I always say it's crazy to harm yourself under the guise of having a good time. Why is it that you have to harm yourself to have a good time? Why do you have to drink alcohol to have a good time? You harming yourself. You putting poison in your blood. And people in the matrix do that a lot. They will mess themselves up under the banner of having a good time. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm just talking. I'm not pointing the finger. I want you to think. Maybe you do these things I'm talking about. Maybe you don't. But my premise is stimulation of thought. You do what you want to do under free will. Just be willing to pay the price. Because there is the law of consequence. There is a law of cause and effect. There is the law of karma. You pay for everything you do. Period. Good or bad. Positive or negative, you pay. That's just how it goes. So that's the problem I got with going out into the wee hours of the night. Now, you got a little 15-year-old girl and she wants to go out to party. See, Creflo Dollar, as a father, as a man, he understands the variables involved. Because, see, girls, they be in a different mental zone. Because girls will put on their little clothes and they just do their thing, and in their mind, we just going to have a good time. But you're going to be around the male species. And the male species is different from the female species. Because for the most part, the male species look at females, especially around that age, as a piece of ass. So when you go into clubs, and I'm not saying that you are a piece of ass, I'm just saying this is how the male species, generally speaking, look at females. We see a piece of ass. And you there at the club or the party, you dancing, and your little breasts be bouncing because you guys got all these little dances you do, and the breasts be bouncing. You be gyrating the hips and the yoni, opening up them lower chakras that deals with sexuality and bonding and relationships. That stimulates the male species. You're dressing provocative. You're dancing provocative. The word provocative, when you break it down, it means provoke. And I think you guys know what the word provoke means. So women, unintentionally in most cases, and unconsciously are provoking males on a lower level. Now, it's really not the female's fault because they got the right to really go out, to dance, to dress. They have free will to do that. So in that respect, they are innocent. And on the other hand, the males are unregulated. They don't have self-regulation. And they on that lower level. So the woman just really out there just dancing. I'm not here for a man. I'm just dancing. But in the mind of the male species, he looking at them breasts bouncing. He looking at them hips shaking. And you gyrating the yoni. He looking at all that. So on the lower level, it's his nature to respond to that. Now, he don't have the right to put his hands on you. Damn sure ain't got the right to rape. But we got to keep it real. We're in a sick society. And we know in our very, very, very sick society today that the male species, remember the male species does 93% of the crime, of all crime committed. 93%. There's a great book called Men Are Not Cost Effective, which is an excellent read. Men Are Not Cost Effective. Great book breaking down how most of your crime, your injuries are committed by the male species. Females only account for 7%. And I'm quite sure that number has changed over the years because a lot of the American females are becoming very manly, very masculine. And so, you got females doing things normally male species, members of the male species would be committing. But 93% of all crime, violent and non-violent crime, committed by the male species. So you have a situation where you have to be conscious of the whole dynamic. Girls have a right to party. But at the same time, too, guys also have a right to live in their minds and fantasize. The problem is that most of these guys are weak. So they'll conjure up stuff here, and because they have no self-restraint, they'll act it out. Even against a young girl's will. We call it rape, which is a crime. And there's a lot of that going on. A lot of that going on. And it doesn't help going to these parties where they serve alcohol and intoxicant. Intoxicant. Y'all know the deal. A woman drinks alcohol, it's going to lower her inhibitions. She's going to become uninhibited. That's why Jamie Foxx put out the song, Blame It on the Alcohol. What allowed you to get G'd up by some strangers, young girl? Blame it on the alcohol. In most cases. Because a lot of our girls are just wild. They free fall women, females. They freaks. They don't have to have no alcohol in a lot of these cases. But there are some who, for the most part, got a rap on their sexuality and their morality, but they can't handle the booze. And I mean, man, there's countless stories, man, of females. It's crazy, man. It was years ago I did a consultation with a young girl in New York. She was 17. She met this dude. This happened in Brooklyn. And she went by the dude's house. And this is something young females, period, should never do. She went to this dude's house, and the dude was a stranger because she just met him. And the dude served her some alcohol. Ladies, you never drink in the presence of strangers. I will go as far as to say that, you really shouldn't be drinking in the presence of dudes because they're still dudes. And like in the movie When Harry Met Sally, in most cases, male friends want to fuck their female friends. In most cases. Believe that. He just my friend. No, he's a male. And deep down inside, he wants to fuck, and he will fuck if the opportunity presents itself. Now you can take it or you can let it alone. I'm telling you how the male species is. Most males have no problems fucking a female friend because at the end of the day, pussy is pussy, period. That's so low, and but that's how it is. The males, most of them are low. Most of them are low. That's how it is. They didn't grow up with no fathers. They're deadbeats, most of them. They're predators. And it ain't like deep down inside you don't know. Now, some girls really don't know because they're really naive. They've been sheltered. But a lot of these females be knowing. See, a lot of females end up messed up because they don't listen to their intuition. Now, I've spoken to many females who told me their intuition told them to not do a thing, and they went against it. They listened to this over what was in here, the intuition. And they ended up being violated, sexually violated. Listen to your intuition, because the more you listen to your intuition, the stronger it becomes. And your intuition is tied into your higher self. Some people even call it the higher self. Whatever, you're linked into it, and the higher self is never going to do you wrong. Never. Never. And a lot of you would like to trust people and things outside of yourself rather within yourself. And the only exception to the rule is divination, because divination is picking up on energy from within inside yourself. So the mistake a lot of people make, especially females, they go against their intuition. So this young girl goes to this cat's apartment in Brooklyn and drinks alcohol. They got her drunk. The dude invites two of his partners over. And the little 17-year-old girl is inebriated. She's out of it. I mean, she's unconscious. People, that ought to let you guys know about alcohol, that it's no good for you. If it will make you unconscious, you shouldn't be drinking it. Listen, it puts you under the influence. Not over the influence, but under the influence. That means you under the influence of something foreign. And alcohol does not have your best interests. So this little girl is just out. That's dangerous in the Matrix. Because, and here in the Matrix, in the capital of the Matrix, the United States, our little girls develop very fast, especially African Americans. African American females on average reach puberty between the ages of 8 and 9. Technically, it's 8.5 years of age. I did an article called The Early Sexual Maturation of Black Girls. And they reach puberty faster than Caucasian girls, Asian girls, Latino girls, or Latinas. They do. So, they, especially African American females, they 9, 10, 11, 12, they're buxom. They got breasts, man. They got full, firm, nice, tone, defined breasts. They got hips. The buttocks is out. They're physically developed. But here, mentally, they're not developed. Spiritually, they're not developed. Emotionally, they're not developed. But you're dealing with a situation pertaining to black males. I'm talking about African Americans now. Where you're dealing with this black male. Most of them are degenerates. They are dead beats. And they operate on a lower level. Cat could be 23, 27, 30. He's supposed to know better. He's supposed to know that that girl that's 11 is a child. I don't care how developed her breasts are. I don't care how far out or protruding her buttocks are. I don't care. He's supposed to know that, yeah, she's physically developed. And he may even be sexually attracted. There may be some lust there, and that's natural. But God damn it, he's supposed to know that's a child, man. And you're supposed to be strong enough where you regulate your Jimmy. And she may be sexually provocative as hell. She may be ignorant, crazy, gyrating, dancing crazy, and acting all sexually wild, as many of them will do because they think that's the norm. They're watching TV. They watching, Nicki Minaj and Rihanna and Beyonce. These African American females, they specialize in gyrating the goods. They don't give a damn. That's what they do. It ain't like in the 50s and 60s. Beyonce ain't no damn Dorothy Dandridge. Rihanna ain't no damn Dorothy Dandridge. Why am I saying or mentioning Dorothy Dandridge? Because Dorothy Dandridge, man, this woman, man, this sister was so tight. I mean, Dorothy Dandridge ended up broke, which happens to a lot of our celebrities, because we're not mental. For the most part, and I don't mean to offend African people because it's not across the board. I'm generalizing. This is a general thing here. Most of us, we're physical. We like to move. We like to slam dunk. We like to throw baseball. We are physical people. We do have it in us to be mental because those of us who are mental, we're dynamite. And you got a history of those black intellectuals, the Malcolm X's, the Mr. Louis Farrakhan's, the Elijah Muhammad's, the W.E.B. Du Bois. And the list goes on and on and on. Marcus Garvey, Dr. Khalil Abdul Muhammad, Steve Coakley. These are kind of your recent cast. Dr. John Henry Clark. Man, these guys, they got it. They got it. So they the minority or the exception to the rule, but when you see them, man, they are sharp. Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, he was sharp, man. Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, they were sharp. They had it up here. So the blacks who have it up here are more your threats in society. But those who can just bounce and rap and just, jigaboos, coons, they ain't no threat. You see? So you saw a changing of conscious black males from the 50s and 60s switched into buffoons, rappers, comedians, cats who show grill, laugh, no threat whatsoever. And so you see they have been given, just like in slavery, it's the buck who gets all the females. And the black females out of their damn monster, they spread their legs and they let the no good niggas impregnate them. That's what's going on. If you ask most young black females, who do you want? Malik, Zulu Shabazz, or Will Smith, or Kobe Bryant? You're going to have a line in the millions of black females going towards Kobe Bryant and Will Smith. Well-known celebrities, but they're not known for having it up here. And if you take those conscious cats, if you take a Sarah Seti, if you take Malik Zulu Shabazz, and many of these other cats out here who are proactive, you're probably only going to have 20, 25, 30 females lined up. And it's only because they're somewhat more conscious than the average black female. So what's going on in the black community is a lot of the black females are just making poor choices. And I'm going to hit on that. Now, let me get back to Dorothy Dandridge right quick. Now, I admire Dorothy Dandridge because this woman went broke. Now, you know how black females do today. You know how females, period, do today. They broke, ain't got no money, and they need some money. They gonna sell some ass in most cases. There's always an exception to the rule, but they gonna sell some ass. They gonna sell some ass because they know what time it is. It's easy. It don't require no brain power. Now, Dorothy Dandridge was bad. Now, I know Halle Berry did justice to her in the movie she did on Dorothy Dandridge, and I give props to Halle Berry for that. I really give props for it. I think that kind of balances out the decision she made to do that sex scene with Billy Bob Thornton in Monsters Ball. And y'all know the uproar about that right there. And I guess that's for like a separate video. But Dorothy Dandridge, that film, it kind of, for me, it's like, okay, well, Halle just don't go down in history for just, that scene with Billy Bob, right? If you look at what she did in Dorothy Dandridge, she really showed, artistic value there. She did a great job as Dorothy Dandridge, So that's just my opinion. A lot of people, Halle she messed up. She let Billy Bob, degrade her and, back then when it happened too, I went to the movie. I was with her. She was with Eric Benet back then, and it was Adafe and my man Otis. And so we're in a movie theater. I think we was in West Hollywood, and we was watching a movie. And he worked with the musicians. Worked with Prince and Justin Timberlake. Worked with everybody. So was boys with Eric Benet. And after the scene took place, right there in the movie theater, took out his cell phone. He called up Eric Benet, and he was like, "Yo, Eric, what type of man are you, man? How could you let your woman do the scene I just saw?" And I'll never forget that, you know. And, you know, Eric Benet, he's a cool cat, but he ain't, you know, all the way there on a conscious tip. I mean, hell, that's just what they do in Hollywood. You know, most cats, we'd have a problem with our woman doing some stuff like that. Most cats would. Some cats wouldn't. You know, long as she bringing in the cheese. You know, some dudes, shit, nigga, my woman can go fuck whoever. Long as she bring home some chips. Because, you know, a lot of black cats got that pimp juice in them. They don't care. They let their woman go fuck whoever, long as she bringing back the money. And then there's those of us who like, yo, you know, I want to do some stuff like that. We got to bounce because, you know, we can't live with that. We got an image to uphold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got some ego, but, you know, we got an image to uphold. We don't, you know, most cats, you know, I mean, they'll, you know, most cats will fuck a hoe, but you ain't trying to marry the hoe and let her be a hoe. And, you know, you know, not if you standing for something. But that was wild, and I remember that it was a hell of an uproar, and she was nominated, you know, for her portrayal and won Best Actress. Turned around and awarded, or was it rewarded or awarded Denzel Washington for his role as a degenerate. And like Denzel said, two birds with one stone. What did he say? Two birds in one night. That's what he said. Two birds in one night. Yeah. So, but Dorothy Dandridge was broke, and they offered her money to pose nude and to do some nudie movies. The woman turned it down. That was a beautiful black woman too, and she turned it down. She turned the money down. Why? What was her reasons? I know her reasons because I studied Dorothy Dandridge. Dorothy said, I cannot do that. She was a part of the civil rights movement. She stood for something. She stood for the positive image of her people. Something that the majority of the black females today will not do. Because they hoes for the snapperoos. Sorry, Beyonce. Sorry, Rihanna. Sorry, Nicki Minaj. Sorry, Eve. You can go down the list. That's their thing. Fuck the community. Fuck the race. It's all about me. So Eve goes to some ceremony, some award, and her titties are covered up with some little star-shaped thing just covering up the nipples. I said, God damn. And I respect free will. But see, before we can deal with this higher spiritual thing, we got to deal with the lower mundane, man. These little black girls are looking at you guys, man. They're looking at Beyonce and Nicki Minaj and Foxy Brown and all these other female entertainers that I was about to call something else, you know. Because in that state, you know, to me, it's just degenerate, you know. And art can be sexy and things like that, but there's an inundation of it. And on a mundane realm, it don't do no good for black women. I'm sorry. It just really does not. Because in case y'all not knowing, pertaining to other men, including your own men, black men, but even white men, Asian men, I'm sorry. And I know y'all gonna be mad at me because y'all motherfuckers already feel I'm a misogynist. Well, fuck all of you. How does it benefit me to be a goddamn misogynist? I'm a healer. I'm trying to cut down on these goddamn consultations. But I'm telling you across the board, you're looked upon as a piece of ass. Not marriage material, not mother material. You guys are just a fuck sperm bag. I'm sorry, that's how you're seen, generally speaking, across the board. Because across the board, when you watch TV and movies, y'all shaking some ass, showing some tits, or what have you. You know, it's your portrayals. And they're constant. Even my man, Dave Chappelle, he was able to see the trends. And see, a lot of black people, especially female, they don't see the trends. Dave Chappelle saw the trends. He saw the trends of black males, black men being effeminized, emasculated, about wearing a goddamn dress. Tyler Perry is a black man. He wears a goddamn dress. Martin Lawrence, he wore a goddamn dress. Wesley Snipes, known as an action hero, broke down. And it just came on TV the other day. Was it Goodbye Julie Newmar? Goodbye Tu Wong Fu or something like that. I never saw the movie. It was on television the other day. I don't know where I was at, but it was on. And it was Patrick Swayze and somebody else, and it was Wesley. And I said, damn, that's that movie Farrakhan was on Wesley about back in Northridge back in 1994. Farrakhan blasted Wesley Snipes. He went from passenger 57 to passenger 69 because of that role there. And Wesley broke down in a damn dress. Eddie Murphy in a dress. Richard Pryor wore the dress. Robert Christian wore the dress. Yeah, he did in the movie with Al Pacino and Justice for All. He wore the dress. Bam, 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 bam. So they hit up Dave Chappelle to wear the dress. It'll be funny. Dave Chappelle said, hell no, I ain't wearing no damn dress. I don't have to be in a dress to be funny. And you know, Chappelle caught a lot of hell for that. You know, he made him crazy. You know, anytime you bucking that which is unrighteous, incorrect on so many levels, you're going to be labeled a basket case. That's all you heard about Dave Chappelle. He lost his mind. He cracked up. And no, that was Martin Lawrence. That was the people who actually did this stuff who cracked up. Dave Chappelle kept his soul. Kept his soul. But these trends, you know, black people be so hard pressed to see themselves on the big screen. They don't care to roll. That's males and females. The females are hoes, and the majority of the males, the majority of the females are seen as hoes, and the majority of the males are seen as thugs, criminals. Both portrayals of black females and black males are negative in most cases. And yes, there are the exceptions to the rules. But that image, man, you guys don't understand the importance of image. See, the Jews do, and that's why they have the Anti-Defamation League. You're not going to defame those people. And I take my hat off to those people. But you ain't got no African-American Anti-Defamation League. First of all, you be fighting against your own people. Because they're the ones who are doing the defaming. You know, because there ain't no gun to your head to tell you got to take these negative roles or portrayals. Ain't no gun to your head. See, a lot of people are just empty and they want fame and fortune because being a regular person, they feel that they're nobody. I'm a regular person, but I know I'm a somebody. And there's no amount of money you could pay me to put me on the big screen to embarrass myself as an individual, number one, as a human being, number two, and as a member of the quote-unquote so-called black race or African-American. It ain't going to happen. It just ain't going to happen. There's not enough money in existence to get me off my square of doing what I'm doing here on YouTube and put me on TV or the big screen as a goddamn buffoon. No, not going to happen. But see, that's because I stand for something. That's because over here in part of my Black History collection, I done read about the struggles of my people. I'm not doing that. See, this is my opinion, but I owe Dorothy Dandridge. I owe Dr. Martin Luther King, man. I owe Coretta Scott King. I owe Malcolm X. I owe all of those people, man, who sacrificed so that I could be residing in Glendale, California right now. So that my children can attend the schools that they attend right now. I owe, man. Now, I would say that you owe too. But, you know, everybody ain't the same. Because some of y'all saying, fuck you, Djehuty. I don't owe shit. I wasn't marching. Them motherfuckers marching. I don't believe in marching. Oh, yeah, you don't believe in marching, but your punk ass believe in accepting the benefits that came from marching. sapsucker. And did nobody tell them people to integrate with white people? They integrated with white people. We lost this, we lost that. Man, please. Get out of here. Those people wasn't marching for no goddamn integration. Their marches were overtaken as Malcolm X broke down. That march was overtaken. And it was made the way it ended up being. Because like Malcolm X said, man, blacks were talking about laying down on airports, preventing airplanes from landing. It was going to be militant. And Kennedy, President Kennedy, took it over, financed it, became a part of it. So when blacks started off, it wasn't about no damn integration. It was about economics. It was about economics. It was about equality predicated upon tax dollars. How you gonna be paying tax dollars and you ain't protected by your government? You ain't got the right to reside where you want to. It wasn't so much that blacks wanted to reside amongst white people. They just wanted the goddamn right like everybody else had. That's all. Give me the right to stay over there. I'm gonna stay in Compton, but if I want to move to Glendale, or if I want to move to Encino or Tarzana, then I want the right to do that. I'm a tax-paying citizen. No taxation without representation. Those blacks were on it back then, more so than we are today. Dorothy Dandridge stood for something, man. I mean, she was a black woman and she was broke. She could have easily made some snaps. White men were crazy about Dorothy Dandridge. She said no. No. And I got to do my article on her because, see, what most people don't know, Dorothy Dandridge was murdered. See, I've done the research. I don't say nothing that I can't back up with research. This woman, just like Marilyn Monroe, her career was being turned around. She was happy. Don't nobody commit suicide in the midst of a turnaround and being happy. And they found her dead in the nude. Don't you know that's a signature hit, people? Lenny Bruce, the great comedian, was found in the nude. John Belushi, found in the nude. Marilyn Monroe, found in the nude. Jimi Hendrix, found in the nude. Dorothy Dandridge, found in the nude. It's a signature hit, man. These people were murdered. They were murdered for various reasons. Some had to do with hits put out on them by secret factions within the government. I tell you what, go read a book called The War Against Rock and Roll by my man, Alex Constantine. It's going to be very hard to find this movie, but I want you to find this movie called Down on Us. And the title was changed to Beyond the Doors. Not the horror movie Beyond the Door, but Beyond the Doors, plural, D-O-O-R-S. I want you to watch this movie about how Janis Joplin really went out, how Jimi Hendrix really went out, and how my man Jim Morrison of the Doors escaped his death. Man, this stuff is documented. But later on with the Dorothy Dandridge and some of these other people, they were murdered. Hey, Sam Cooke was murdered in the nude. They put a black jacket on him and put on one black shoe. That was a mob hit. Sam Cooke was shot, execution style. One bullet under the arm, hit both lungs and heart, killed him instantly. He was killed execution style. That, I mean, the average person don't know how to kill somebody like that. They shot Sam Cooke under the armpit. That bullet hit both lungs and the heart. Sam was gone, man. And then put a jacket on him and one black shoe. I said, man, I know I got a lot to write about. I got a lot to put out there. It got to be put out, man. Just have to. Even Marilyn Monroe. And I know the Afrocentrics going to get them, man, why are you writing about Marilyn Monroe? Because she was murdered, sapsucker. Don't nobody give a care that she was shared between the Kennedys and Sam Giancana, and she was this slut. The woman was about to drop some information that was going to create the first presidential scandal. The Monday before she was murdered that Friday night. And her phone was bugged by the mob, and the word got back. See, Peter Lawford, the brother-in-law of the Kennedys, was tied into the mob. And so it got back to the Kennedys. So she was on the phone talking to Peter. I mean, the phones were bugged. So it got back to these higher ups. So John Kennedy, he's, yo, Bobby, I told you to get rid of Marilyn. You fucked her and got her pregnant. She had 12 abortions, and the 12th abortion was by Bobby Kennedy. Bobby was messing with her head, said he was going to divorce Ethel and marry her. She got tired of the lie. She said, fuck it, I'm going public. She screwed up. She had to talk to somebody, because that's one thing about females. You know, women are emotional creatures, and they talk a lot. They talk a lot. And she picked up the phone, and she talked a lot. What she said was intercepted, and they transported Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy said he was on vacation in Frisco. They flew him down to LA on a helicopter, him and a doctor. Marilyn knew her killers, and Bobby Kennedy was there. And they injected Marilyn Monroe, took her clothes off, turned her on her stomach, and gave her a fatal suppository. She was known for enemas, and they gave her a fatal suppository. Took her out. Dorothy Dandridge wrote a letter to her mother, and she said, don't open this. She said, don't open unless I'm dead. Then you got to ask yourself, now, why in the hell would Dorothy Dandridge write something like that? It don't be enough time in these videos, man, because, you know, my mind, so I have Mars and Gemini. I'm an air sign mentally, so I'll be all over the place, man. You know, and I'm like, damn, you know, it's, you know, you got to make these single videos, Dorothy Dandridge, Marilyn Monroe, you know, and it just comes up in a video on Creflo Dollar. But that's just how I do. So I'm hoping y'all knowing how I do. Don't worry about the title of my video. I'm going to drop some stuff that's going to stimulate some thought in you. So don't get caught, why Djehuty talking about Creflo? Why Djehuty talking about niggas in Paris? Don't worry about the title. I'm going to drop. Okay? My time is valuable. I ain't got time for no worldly, stupid stuff. But I'll use anything to impart information that will stimulate the thought process. Okay, let me wrap up, man. Let me wrap up. So Creflo Dollar understands that his little daughter is really a piece of ass in the minds of sick males. He understands it as a father. He's been young. I've been there too. You know, when you 15, 16, that's a piece of ass. See, men, I want to talk to the men. See, men, that's why you got to do right early off, because of that karma. See, you fuck around on somebody's daughter, chances are, because see, karma is a mean mother. You'll turn around or mess around, or fate would have it, the fate that you created, that you have a daughter. See, and then she started developing stuff like that, and then you become overprotective. See, and then you forget how you was. So that's why when I see cats out there and my daughters and, you know, the little ignorant boys trying to holler and stuff, I don't get mad at them because I understand the dynamic. See, and plus I got something in my head to talk to these cats. I was in Atlanta, and like I said, we went, it was like 9:50 some Atlanta time. And I saw these little young girls and little dudes, hey, can I get your number? I mean, the little girls looked like they was 11, 12. It's like, where your mother at? Like, and they was developed too, and it's like, wow. And all the dudes, it was like, it was the programming. You know, they walked around with the pad, let me get your number. Then they had their little phones, and let me get your number. They walk around to all the girls, let me get your number, let me get your number. That's just how it is. And you ain't gonna stop that. So what you gotta do is impart that knowledge to your children. You gotta impart that knowledge. Because they're gonna do their thing. See, I know a day gonna come, my children gonna do their thing, but I'm equipping you with the knowledge, and I'm teaching you personal responsibility. Because you can't come back to me, Daddy, how come you didn't tell me this and that? No, I gotta worry about people, you know, they young, let them be young. You shut your silly behind up. They're young. Young people fucking too. I don't care nothing about my children being young. My daughter was 10, and I sat her down, I said, let me sit down. Zara, let me talk to you. She was doing homework. I said, take a break. I said, you know all that stuff they teach you in school, you know it's bullshit, right? Yes, Daddy, I know it's bullshit. I said, no, why are you learning it now? Because, I quiz them, because I drop on them. She said, because I have to learn it in order to make it within the matrix, but the knowledge that I get from you and the independent knowledge is what I'm going to use in life. Always quiz them. So they know. Like my daughter, I said, you go and you learn the Pledge of Allegiance. Because you're going to be able to use it like I was. Like I was able to use it. You're going to be able to use it in the future. See? So, because my daughter, she's a Taurus too. My eldest daughter is a Taurus. So, she tell me everything, Daddy, they taught us that this white man killed Martin Luther King. I said, that's bullshit. Read the book, Tell your teacher to read this book, Orders to Kill by William F. Pepper, and all these other books here. I give her book titles. I said, now that's the official story. Now here is the real story. No damn James Earl Ray killed no damn Martin Luther King. It's a goddamn U.S. government hit. Military, FBI, Memphis PD. That's who killed King. Ask your teacher, does she know about Raul? Oh, don't mess with me, man. I don't care nothing about this matrix. Because I'll go and debate their ass. I got the real deal stuff here that'll mess them up. See, but I teach my children truth. I ain't got no time, And, because, the women, they be sensitive and things. And, and so, I am the way that I am. Because, see, I know what I know is best. So a lot of people, and you got a lot of females, they get mad. Djehuty seem like he did. You goddamn right I'm like this. Because you ain't doing the work I'm doing. You not. See, you want to be free, but you ain't got no goddamn discipline. You will hurt yourself in your freedom, as you have done. So just sit back and leave me the hell alone. I know who the hell I am. If I was some old stupid dumb black cat, I wouldn't create multi-million-dollar businesses. I didn't go to your little law school and your business school and stuff. I use this. And I'm doing me. So I don't want to hear from certain people. You can't come to this YouTube channel and talking about me. You ain't got no YouTube channel. You on my channel. I'm powerful enough to create my channel and become a goddamn magnet. So you can't talk no crap to me on my own goddamn YouTube channel. If you got a problem with me and think you can do it better than me, then goddamn it, create your own channel so the people can have an alternative source to go to. See, but no, you want to sit back and talk shit about me, but you ain't doing shit. When I get through doing this video, I'm about to go create some stuff for the people. That's what I'm about to do. I'm going to go help out at a store that I opened up. See, but you going to the 9 to 5 and you got to watch the videos and secret looking over your back and shit like that and putting earplugs in. And you can't talk shit about me. You a fucking slave, man. All the shit you can't apply to get your ass free. I did. I got the superior fucking knowledge and I'm bold enough to stand on it. That's why my life is the way it is. And that's why I can speak with so much passion. Because I know my shit and I like a challenge. And if you think you can do it better than me, then goddamn it, go for it. I love a challenge. I love it. But I don't like no stupid shit though. You're too cruel. You're harsh. You should let young people be young people. Shut the fuck up. Young people going to fucking jail. Young people being charged as adults. Young people are fucking. Young people having abortions. Young people doing drugs. Shut the fuck up. Young people are hurting them damn selves. Because the fucking elders have dropped the ball. And I just happen to be one who can relate to their ass. Because I grew up on the mean streets. So I know their language. I know what they're going through. Most of them came through the lust gate. From your ass back in the day. Now you all sanctified Christian woman. No, you can't hide your past. You was a fucking hoe back in the day. And that's where your daughter and your sons came from. Because you was fucking degenerate. You were fucking deadbeats. The daddy don't pay no child support. What the fuck you expect? You was a fucking hoe. He wasn't thinking about making a baby with your ass. He was thinking about getting a fucking nut. Because that's what he saw in you. That's what you offered to him. Period. And that's the truth. I know, oh, there go Djehuty, looking up. He cursing and he just, whatever. Whatever. I'm going to do me. I'm going to be me. See, because I got to deal with this stuff. I'm the one got to deal with it. Like the little 17-year-old girl in New York and Brooklyn, intoxicated. I mean, who else is telling the young girl, hey, you don't go to a stranger's house and do stuff that would take you out of your mind, like alcohol. They took the girl out of her mind, ran a train on her. Three dudes, all three of them fucked her. And you know what was cold? Not only was she raped, violated, but the girl contracted genital herpes. One of the degenerates gave the girl genital herpes, man. I mean, she was so, I mean, man, it's like we be killing our females at an early fucking age. It's crazy, man. I mean, it is so crazy. And and I know the black women are beautiful. They develop and things like that, you know. And I mean, it's really true for Latinos, white girls, Asians, you know, just girls, man. Our women, our females that we need, man. We're supposed to love and protect, and we violate them, man. I mean, we that fucked up. We violate them. We take. I mean, you got certain women was trying to save it for marriage, and dudes just took it. Degenerates. And man, if you do the research, most of these women who are violated, most of them are never the same. A lot of them end up as hoes and call girls, prostitutes. They go in the opposite direction. They have no more self-value. They like, forget it. It's been taken. Shit, anybody can have it now. I mean, man, the steam go down. I remember this one young lady came to me for a consultation. And she went somewhere with this older dude. He took her way out somewhere. The young girl. And you know, the young girls tend to gravitate towards older men because, see, they're looking for the daddy, but they end up with a sugar daddy. And sugar is a poison. They end up with these sugar daddies, man. These are deadbeat dudes. And the dude took her way out. He went to gamble with some friends. And it was, you know, get dark time. She's like, I need to get back on my side of town so I can go home. Dude said, you ain't going nowhere until you let me hit. Grown man in his 30s. Tapped it. She was only 15 or 16. I did it because I needed to get home. Put her in a situation, hemmed her up. You know, a lot of this stuff, man, I know it's a separate video, but it is dealing with these fathers, man. It's dealing with men. It really is. I know you hear a lot of stuff. You see a lot of video about the women. And see, the women got a lot of power. They really do. They have a lot of power over men. But because they're not in tune with their own inner power, men got power over women. And women do things for men. It's easy for men to get women. Because there's so many defects and men manipulate that. Predators. But the males, man. You know, my personal motto is, I don't have sex with no woman I don't love. I don't have sex with no woman that I can't see as my wife and the mother of my children. I mean, that's just me. And I'm cool with it. I grew up with a mother and a father. Balance in the house. And I saw good and bad. I saw dysfunctionality, but I saw way more functionality. And that functionality of my parents led to me being who and what I am to this day. The same thing for my brother Mike. Michael Cooper. And even my other siblings are better off than most. But for me and my brother Mike, totally different. And I go through a lot in my life, man. I go through a lot, but I never forget my children. Because see, I live for me, but then I also live, a certain part of me, I live for my parents. Because of their sacrifice. It's 2012, but I still remember my father's sacrifice for myself and my siblings, my mother, our family, back in the 70s and the 80s to this day. And I'm like, man, my parents, I understand why they smoked and drank. I understand why they did the things that led to cancer that took them out. Don't justify, but I understand. And there's a lot of times we're like, damn, guys, if you guys was alive today, the things I would do for you guys, the new cars and trips to Vegas and all the places y'all like to go, I would just do it every month just because. I mean, just because. It's like, thank you guys for what you guys did for back then. You know, I don't know how life would have been if my pops would have left my mother. And I know there was times my mother gave my father an excuse to bounce. But Pops was strong, man. And Pops would pack his stuff up and Pops would leave for a day or two. And you know where he would go? To his mother house, my grandmother house, Bertha Cooper. She stayed at 432 East 101st Street. We stayed at 155 East 105th Street. Walking distance. Those were the days back then where the family was together. I mean, we fucked up today. I mean, you know, today you got to pay your siblings and relatives to watch your children. And it wasn't like in the 70s where my mother was like, Irie, can you watch the children? Because Ernest and I, we got to do such and such. Oh, girl, bring them over. No problem. And my mother would give her $5 or $10, you know, because they knew how to do things, you know, because they got to eat. The children got to eat things. And even though a lot of times my aunts and uncles, they would spring. They would pay for it. It was no big deal. And my parents would do the same thing. That don't exist for the most part today. Now, I met a young girl out here in Glendale, and she came out here, she didn't have nobody. And just her struggles, you know, but she had a dignity, though, because she didn't sell her ass or what have you. This was a strong sister from the South. She still had her roots in her. And she just told me the things she did to survive. And I was like, wow, that was, you know, it really did something. I'm cool with this. She's very beautiful. She's a model and what she does, she's a makeup artist, and she's awesome, and she got it. This girl can go sell some ass, and she can get $500 to $1,000 a pop, and she's the shit. But this girl, she got it, and she was walking down the street one day, and she came into Djehutys health store, and we just started talking, man, and and it's something that always happens, you know what I'm saying? The little young girls. And they just look up and they're like, oh, snap, you saying stuff that I always thought about. Because I get metaphysical on them. You know what I'm saying? I start talking astrology and things. And I just create that bond with them. You know, I just create that bond with them. And I listen to them. Then I drop and things. And we just become friends. And it's like, you on the right path. You know, young, you divorced, you left your husband. He was beating you and stuff. And, you did the right thing. You on the right path. You working 2 jobs, you waiting tables and stuff. You ain't selling ass. You're not. You keeping your dignity, man. That's some rare stuff. So a little sister like that, because I don't be giving numbers and stuff like that. But to these females I meet, but this little sister here, I say, hey, I gave her the business card. I say, here's my number here. If you ever need anything, you get into a Jimmy Jam, you can always come to this store here. You can always call if you need help. And you do your thing, but just understand we're here for you and everything. You stay the way you are and just bam. Because I understand what it's like to not have family. You're a female too. That's very critical. Males can tend to pretty much not, but females going to always be preyed upon for sexual purposes. And so because I am from the 70s, I am from close-knit community, it's still in me, you see. So you can actually come and get some help. And Todd and Forrest and Court, we're not trying to fuck you. You know what I'm saying? We like your brothers. We want you to make it. We got hundreds of thousands, millions of black hoe-ass females. You the exception to the rule. We like that. We like the underdogs. It's stuff in our natal chart that makes us like people like you. And certain black males out there, we like males like you. Because you ain't selling out. We like that. So we got your back. Because we want you to succeed. Man, why would we want to fuck the little young sister? I got a fucking wife. Gump got a woman. I said fucking wife. Like, oh, no. I'm married. I have a wife. You know what I'm saying? Gump got a woman. I mean, we getting taken care of in that respect. So why we have to smooch on a young sister? Why? And she's coming of age. potential wife, potential. Why would we want to mess that up there, man? See, people, it's all about consciousness, real consciousness. And it's just unfortunate that you don't have a lot of cats like us on the scene. You know, I know it's out there, but not to the degree that it needs to be. Because most cats would take advantage of these young females. I live a spiritual existence. I have a daughter. And the dirt that I do to some young female will be karma created in some dude out there doing dirt to my daughter. And men need to think about stuff like that. I got 2 daughters. I don't do nothing to no young female that I would not want done unto my daughters. Period. Period. I live a principled, disciplined life. A lot of these dudes just crazy. They're just crazy. Just no principle, nothing to stand for. And seeing they come from these dysfunctional relationships. It's an American thing across the board. But when you deal with African Americans, man, it's the worst. 80% of these children are coming into existence from parents who are not married. And you know, I understand what took place in Uranus and Libra back in 69 to 1974. But family could still work today. I'll never give up on family. I'll never give up on marriage. And you know, a lot of people think I'm anti-polygyny, anti-polygamy. And that's not the case. I just know what I'm dealing with my people. And I know niggas all too well. And I know these niggas, I can see right through them. There's only one cat that I know of that I take my hat off to as far as polygyny and polygamy, and that's my brother Polite on the East Coast. He's the only cat that I know of that I can say, you know what? If y'all into polygyny, polygamy, follow that brother's example. Because he got his head wrapped on tight. You know, you can see the results. His children are educated. You can see the results. And for a lot of these other cats out here, you can't see no results. The niggas are raggedy. They just toe up, beat up, to the curb. Just messed the hell up, broke, no money, 30 cents short from having a quarter. Eat the whole lot of donut, just raggedy motherfuckers, but then they want to have a bunch of wives. And I know it's just to fuck. Degenerate pieces of shit. I mean, I'm just expressing my opinions and my emotions about certain things. What I'm saying in this video, don't run and take it as fact. Djehuty says, I'm just expressing. That's what I do in all these videos. That's just me. But these males, man, decrepit, degenerate black males. Man, the white man ain't gonna let you have no job, man. The white man, you just a punk. A fucking punk. Man, the white man got all the power. Power is something that you take, punk. You hard in the hood as a gangbanger. Once you take that sentiment, that mentality, and apply it to corporate America. Okay, so you selling dope. Okay, well, why don't you go take some exams and become a legalized dope dealer? Because this government allows for dope to be sold. You just got to become a pharmacist. Legalize dope peddling. Do some legal stuff so you ain't got to be looking over your back, man. And they think I'm just hard on black women. Man, please, y'all don't know me. He's a black elitist. You goddamn right I am. Like Farrakhan said, it ain't no goddamn fun being tied to a decrepit, degenerate ass people. It ain't no damn fun. You over here balling in life, you getting respect, and you tied to a worthless people. Expendable people. That ain't no fun, man. You want the best. When you love yourself, want the best for yourself, you want the best for others. You want the best for your brother and your sister. You want the best for your peeps, man. It ain't no fun being part of the losing team. Period. It ain't. Wow, you're an intelligent black man. Well, I'm not the only one. The rest of the knuckleheads, they got the potential too. They got the potential too. Just ain't got a lot of elder black males on the scene who will work with them. Because a lot of black males, if they can't fuck the mother, they're not gonna have time to work with the children. That's a lot of the mentality of a lot of these cats here. If I ain't gonna fuck the mother, I ain't fucking with her bastard ass children. Fuck that shit. Some other nigga made the motherfucker nigga. Fuck that shit. That's the mentality. And I ain't saying it's a hell of a job either, because, certain respect, at the end of the day, a man wants a woman. Okay? And a lot of the sisters made poor choices, bad choices, and allowed no good dudes to get the pussy. And dudes who were really worthy of them, who were educated and, were father material, they was boring, wasn't like what have you. So, that it created that dynamic there. And it's fought on both sides. And a lot of these sisters get caught up in the easy money and stuff like that. And the dudes that got the easy money, degenerates, so they all turned out on smoking weed, alcohol, hoeing, fucking and shit like that. And then they get pregnant, have these children. These dudes get killed, go to jail, or bounce. Now you got little human beings on the scene. Somebody got to raise these goddamn children, man. Somebody got to raise them. Children are like Clay-Doh, man. They got to be molded. And you wonder why we got these little black girls, we call them hoes. They ain't got no examples of mothers. Functional mothers. Then we talk about black women make poor choices. Well, shit, they didn't have no daddies on the scene to sit down and talk to them and lead by example in the house. It's a challenge just to reside under the same roof for 1 year with the opposite sex. We only under the roof just to fuck in most cases. I'm saying in most cases because, hey, props to all the people out there that's really doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because I don't want y'all to think that, we ain't really got it like that in America or even in black America where you got males and females who can come together, who can get married, have children, raise a family. Because it exists. The cameras is not on that as much as it's on the negative stuff. Well, Djehuty, why you deal with the negative stuff? Because, see, if you correct the negative, the positive speaks for itself. You see, you take away the negative, then the cameras, well, shit, we ain't got nothing to put the cameras on. Wow, they ain't gangbanging no more. They ain't selling dope no more. What are these little black hoe-ass hoochie women at? We don't see them no more. Well, shit, we better turn our camera to somewhere else. Let's see what's going on in politics. Let's see what's going on in Washington, D.C. That's how you end that shit there. Take away their privilege. Take it away. They always can find something bad about black. Well, black people just stop doing this stupid, dumb, degenerate shit. Then they ain't got nothing to film. So you ain't in the streets doing stupid stuff. They ain't got nothing to film. You ain't gonna be on the news. You ain't gonna be on the news. They're gonna have to go look for something else. So see, that's a challenge. See? Because, let's keep it real. A lot of them, you like the degeneracy. You like it. Because you making your chips. That Dorothy Dandridge spirit is long gone. In females as well as males. But these goddamn black males, man, it's all about the dick. The dick. That's all these cats, the dick. That's it. Can't conquer nothing in the white man's world but some pussy. That's all these niggas can conquer. And in conquering the pussy, they get conquered. Because a lot of them end up as bitches coming to me talking about, man, she give me for child support, man. Man, they suspended my license, man. Man, they suspended my pay. Nigga, they needed to. Your stupid ass. Now, don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. There are some dudes who are good dudes and get caught up in that system. But they're exception to the rule. The majority of these cats, they deserve it. I be like, dude, get out my goddamn face. Get out my goddamn face. You deserve it. The child support system exists because you was irresponsible with your dick. Now, you knew that girl was a hoe. You popped her, and you got her pregnant. Be a man. Fess up to your actions. Pay the child support. Even if you ain't gonna be in a child's life, which I think is some messed up stuff. Because children need that emotional investment from both parents, but especially males. I mean, man, if you ain't gonna be on this, at least pay the money, man. And you black females out there, and just women in general, period, the white girls, the Asians, Latinos, all y'all too. If you know a man wants to be in your child's life, Check your imbalanced ass emotions and let that man be in his child's life. Because if not, that child gonna grow up like you in most cases. Because a lot of these women toe up. And do you know they so sick that they will allow for their children to grow up and to be toe up as well too? And will turn around and say, I love my baby. Her daddy wasn't on the scene, and this child's daddy wants to be on the scene, and she ain't gonna let him. Some stupid shit. Stupid, man. And child support, man, they're killing me, man. You need to be killed, your stupid self. You shouldn't have got with her, no. Then dude, we be knowing, man. We know. We got male intuition. We be knowing women are crazy, imbalanced, and we be knowing certain things, man. We know she's a wild ass stallion. We be knowing that they masculine and yang. We be knowing, man, and we sell out for the pussy. We sell out. Like this motherfucker's crazy. But then you watching those big ass titties bounce while she's dancing, smoking weed and shit. You like, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of her. I'm gonna fuck her good. You know she crazy, man. So you deserve everything that happens to you. Man, Djehuty charging $1,000 for help. You goddamn right I am. The fuck I'm gonna help you for a few $100s. It costs a few $1,000s if you want my help. Period. And I don't even help people. When I get the information, you gotta give me information. So when I see that you was a degenerate cat and you were just on some low vibrational type stuff, I don't even work with you. But if you was like that and you want to be in your child's life, now that get my attention. Then I consider working with you. Because people can change. And you got to give props to the cats who want to change. Like, you know what, man? I was just wilding out, but I got a seed. My daddy wasn't there for me, man, so I want to be there for my... Okay, when you come at me like that, then I'll consider helping you. But prevention is better than remedy. Prevention is better than remedy. Now, as far as Creflo, he was just trying to protect his daughter. 1 o'clock in the morning, come on. And, little black girl, it don't matter that her daddy's rich and daddy worked hard to give her the life she has. It's easy for children to take advantage of certain situations and take certain things for granted as well. They take things for granted and they'll take advantage of certain things. You well know. I'll call the police. I'll mess up your image. And she's a little black female, so it's something in them. There's a defiant spirit in them. I don't care if they're Christian, Muslim, atheist, what have you. It's something that goes down from the genes and our black people and our black females, and they will get feisty with your ass. And I know Creflo Dollar loves his daughters, and I know he's taking care of them. Them girls are privileged. And that man worked hard. I mean, that man started off from an elementary school to where he is right now. I know he catch a lot of hell with his prosperity preaching, but you know what? I give him props for his prosperity preaching because it's better than this bullshit that other people are preaching about. Blessed are those who are poor, and it's easy for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man into heaven. And that prosperity teaching is better than this bullshit most of these Christian reverends are preaching and teaching. It's bullshit. It's impotent. So I give him props in that respect. Hell, he's in America. That's what you do in America. Who the hell wants to struggle? Then you wonder why your little girls get with dope dealers and want to get with Kobe Bryant and the ball players and things like that. They want to get out of goddamn poverty. Shit, it ain't nothing special about poverty. But the little black girl gon', call the police. See, we didn't have that back in the 70s. You got your ass beat. You even if your parents could read your mind, and you was thinking about calling the police, they'd beat your ass. My pops, he was like, go ahead and call them. Because when they beat your ass, they ain't going to stop. They going to kill your ass. You going to be screaming out for me. Pops was real, man. My pops told us real stuff. He said, when I beat your ass, I'm going to stop because I love you. When that white man beat your ass, he ain't going to stop. He going to love you. I mean, pops will put stuff on you. And all my siblings called the police on my pops. That was something I never did. And I used to be like, dude, how could y'all do that, man? My mother called the police on them. My siblings. I mean, I was always the black sheep, man. And I was a daddy's boy. Even though I know my pop, my little brother Mike was his was his man. You know, you call him Papa, you know, and I know that for my mother, my oldest brother was the favorite, and I knew my little brother with my father was the favorite. But I was just always just a big heart person. And even though I knew that truth, I didn't really trip. You know, my parents were still my parents, and they took care of me. And my pops made me mad a lot of times, but it was no way in the world I was gonna call 5-0 on my father because I was mad at him. Because when I got mad at my father, and my father used to tell me too, he said, Ernest, I know you be mad at me when I be up in your face, and I know you want to sock my ass and knock me out, but you won't because you respect me. And that's why you my favorite son. He'd say that. And I always heard that, Ernest, you never gave us no problem. Out of all the children, you didn't give us the problem the other three gave us. And that was real. Because I'd be mad at my pops, but, you know, I would think about the times we didn't have food and pops came through. I thought about the man's struggle and the sacrifice. So I could never, I'm a Taurus too, so I could never sell him out or go against him or betray him for nothing. And I saw my mother do it, and I saw all my siblings do it. And I remember my little brother got mad at him, called the police on him, and took the police to the backyard and showed him where he was growing his weed. My father got a problem with smoking weed. And, you know, Pop loved his weed and everything, you know, and the weed did cause a lot of problems because when he didn't have money, he got an attitude, and it caused a lot of arguments, you know. Hey, Shay, you got $20? No, Dad, I ain't got $20. Ernest, you got $20? No, Pops, I ain't got $20. Micah, you got $20? No, Pops, I ain't got $20. Michelle, you got $20 I can hold on to? No, Dad, I ain't got it. What? God damn. Ain't none of you motherfuckers ain't got no money. You motherfuckers working ain't got no money. You motherfuckers need to stop working. And he would just look up because you wouldn't give him your money. And we knew we knew he wanted our money to go give it to this dude named Snake, who was the weed man. We knew where the money was going. You know, so we'd be like, nah, we had money. But we like, nah, shit, you pops and you did stuff for us, but we know it's going to Snake. It's fucking you up, but the money's going to Snake. No. Then he'd find a way, you know, he would get it. His brother Sam would come through, he would get it. He'd smoke his weed and get the munchies. And then he'd be like, Ernest, you got $5. Won't give me a chicken dinner. No, Pops, I ain't got it. Micah, loan me $5 so I can give me a chicken dinner. Pop might be like, Pop, yeah, I ain't got it. Michelle, let me get 5 bones so I can give me some chicken. Daddy, I don't have $5. Daddy, you got $5? No. But you motherfuckers are pathetic. None of you motherfuckers got $5. I mean, dude. And that's what we got to encourage during the weed days. That was later on in the 80s because the drugs hit South Central and our parents were never the same. Now, I'm thankful because Pops didn't do crack cocaine because the crack cocaine decimated the black community. I can do a video on my personal experiences in the 1980s when the CIA put crack cocaine in the hood. Oh my God, I got some stories. I mean, y'all didn't saw certain things on the news and movies, and I grew up in it. And I saw stuff that still kind of somewhat got me messed up. But Pops just did his weed, you know, drank his liquor from time to time. But, you know, a lot of the fights came over drugs and liquor. You see, and which is why I'm adamantly opposed against those things to this day. Because I'm like, most of the arguments and the fights, the physical fights my parents had, alcohol was involved. See, they couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle it. And they couldn't even see that every Thursday it was the same old, same old. Wasn't conscious. It was a script. See? And then the weed. Pops couldn't get no weed, so he started cursing people out. He arguing with my mother now. You know, that's all over because we won't give him money to buy some weed. And everybody's arguing. And on a couple of occasions it turned physical. My older brother, my little brother, man, Pop, we sick and tired of your shit. What, little motherfucker? And just, they lock up and everything. And then my sister come and let go my daddy. And I would come like, hey, God damn it, guys, cut it out. This is embarrassing and everything. And my mother, motherfucker, let go of my son. And next thing you know, the whole family, all 6 of us just fall down in the backyard. And we had just moved to this community on 100 and, we was still on Town Avenue. And it was kind of like a little uppity black neighborhood. And I remember the next door neighbors looking out the window and I said, oh, God. And I was always conscious about stuff like that. I'm like, boy, you can take niggas out the hood, but you can't take the hood out niggas. Boy, I tell you. And it was so embarrassing, man. Like, you know, and my whole life, I was a peacemaker. My whole life, the peacemaker between my mother, my father, my brother, you know, and my father and my sister. I was always the peacemaker. Always. Always. But I remember things, man. And those periods were the dysfunctional periods. So when there was no marijuana and there was no alcohol, it was beautiful. It was laughter, talking about the past. And we had more of those times than those times, the bad times, right? But I was balanced. I saw good, I saw bad. So like in my two marriages, man, it's night and day. It's really night and day. And I know a lot of cats are like, Tootie, man, these women be putting you through stuff. And the women be saying the same thing too. These men be putting us through stuff. It goes both ways. Because I've been there where it's times like, yeah, shit, I just want to just bounce. Because I don't want to hear this shit. I ain't got time. And so you appear insensitive to the women and you just really just being a man, like, look, I got more pressing things to be dealing with. This is like frivolous. This is not important. But the trip thing about it is, and this is something that men don't be understand, that should be important to women. So those dynamics hit, man. So I had to learn, man. I really got a lot of my experiences in my first marriage. Like, it may not mean nothing to me, but it means something to her. And so you got to work on that discipline and be like, you know what? If it means that much to you, then bam, let's do it or what have you. It's that bending act. It's the compromise. It's the deferential treatment. And that's just how it is, man. Because we're not alike. I mean, men and women, we're just different creatures. We're just different. And see, in my relationships, I let wisdom rule. I let wisdom rule. Because, I'm of the mundane. So I'm going to go consult with angels and divination cards and stuff like that. So I'm always do the right thing. Because if I operate from the low, then I'm going to repeat a lot of stuff that I witnessed with my parents. And I'm just not about to have that because I know how it felt to hear my parents arguing and talking about how they was going to leave. And that devastates a child's world, man. Like if I was to leave my wife, man, or vice versa, my children be messed up because my children, they're young, they like 6, 4, and 2. The little one, that's all they know. Their life is a routine. And they're happy, balanced children, man. I've never seen that in my life. They don't know what hard times is. They don't know certain things. And my parents, man, they didn't give a damn. My pops, man, he got some bad news. He didn't care about your childhood. Ernest, come here. I'll be shooting hoop at 107th Street School. I'll be hot too, boy. My pops come to the gate. Ernest, come here. God damn, what you want, man? Yeah, man. We lost the house. We're going to have to move out at the end of the month. And your stomach just dropped. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking 12, 13, 14. Why are you telling me this shit, man? I ain't got no money. I mean, I don't even want to play ball no more. I was balling. I was hot. Why are you telling me this stuff? That's how my father was, man, I mean, I grew up with a family that they love to be the bearer of bad news. I mean, it'd be 2 o'clock at night, phone ring. It'd be my sister, my grandma. It's always a female, too. I know it's late and everything, but I just want to let you know that, such and such is dead. Such and such got killed. I'd be like, God damn, And I got to the point, when I got on my own, and my sister is my sister, and my grandmother was my grandmother, and, and they were who they were. But when that black sheepism came out of me, and I really became independent, I was like, listen, I don't want none of y'all to call me about nobody that we grew up with or who may be family and who is dead. Don't call me to tell me. Don't wake me up from my precious sleep because I'm crazy about my sleep. I'm not like most people. I be dreaming and my dreams be awesome. Don't wake me up unless the house is on fire. That's it. Don't wake me up. It got to be an emergency. House on fire. You done heard somebody in the house. That's it. But you can't wake me up over nothing. I'll wake up and curse your ass out. So when I became independent, don't none of y'all call me. You're going to call me at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, going to tell me somebody dead. Somebody got shot. Such and such guy that we grew up with got shot. I said, well, what time did he get killed? Oh, man, he got killed around like 6:30, 7 o'clock p.m. What time is it now? Oh, it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be like, well, listen. If the motherfucker been dead since 7 o'clock p.m., the motherfucker gonna be dead at 7 a.m. You call me at 7 in the morning and tell me some shit. You don't wake me up in the middle of the night to tell me that somebody got killed or somebody is dead. A motherfucker dead at 7 p.m. gonna be dead at 7 p.m. the next day. Tell me then. Don't disturb me. And I have to be like that, man. It's like, it's one thing being intellectual, but when you of a certain caste, man, you're a certain group of people, you a certain way, so you use my type of language, man, because that's what they understand. You become the way that I am. Because you have to adapt in the midst of this shit. You got to navigate. So you got to look up and let people know. You can like, damn, he cruel. I'm cruel, but don't call me no goddamn more. And I don't really care as long as you don't call me no more. Because at the end of the day, I want what I want. Don't disturb my sleep over some shit like that. People die every goddamn day. Now, I am where I am because I'm not trying to go out like these cats. Man, they told me my man, JJ, Lydell Levi. I think he grew up on 102nd Street, man. And he got killed, what, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and it just messed me up. I said, God damn. I mean, man, from South Central Los Angeles, man, I mean, cats just go under over stupid shit, man. It's crazy, you know. I mean, I am where I am. You know, people say, you know, Djehuti's in the boondocks. You know, he way out in the boonies, and it's. I knew how I wanted to live my life. I don't want all that stuff I grew up with. Even though I had some good times in the hood, I don't want that for my children. Because a lot of the children are unsupervised. You know, the mother is a single parent. You know, it's these guys form gangs, man, because it's a rite of passage, man. It's like a ritual into manhood. You know, back in my day, you had to get courted in. So in order to join a gang, you know, like my man Lil Larry, he'd have to throw down with Day Day. Day Day was from Q102 East Coast Crip. So you had to fight certain cats. You know, Q102 East Coast Crip, Main Street Crip would, you know, they get together. They was enemies, but they would get together. And new cats who wanted to join the gangs would have to throw down. It was called being courted in. And that's how it was. We don't have the rituals. The Native Americans had a ritual whereby after the ritual, the men respected the females. There was a particular Native American tribe, and all the men would go away all the males, I should say, the young boys, they would go away for 3 days with the elder men. And during this ritual, the elder men would beat the crap out of these little boys. I mean, just beat them and take nails and pierce their bodies. And I mean, they were tortured. They tortured these little boys. It was a ritual. And then on the 3rd day after the ritual, where they pretty much got their ass beat, the Native American elders would march the little boys back to the village, to the community. And all the females of the community of the village will be out waiting for the women. And then the elder men, these were Native Americans, they would point at the women. And they would say to the little boys who was in pain, they say, the pain that you feel, you know, the Native American boys be like, yeah, that pain, how you feel right now, that's what all those women go through. That's what they feel in order to birth you. And that's why Native Americans never disrespected their females until they came into contact with Europeans. Because the rituals, and we don't have the rituals, we don't have the rites of passage today for our youth. And that's why they out there doing what they're doing. Because on a subconscious or unconscious level, they're looking for the ritual, the rites of passage into adulthood. So since we don't have it, gang banging suffices. It's a pack, it's a group. You ain't got no family, so the hood becomes the breeding ground for your new family of your thug homeboys. That's it. The girls ain't got no daddy, so they looking for protection. They got a lot of the girls back in the day. See, this is what a lot of the quote unquote good guys don't understand. A lot of the reason why them girls chose those thug dudes over the good guys is they was also looking for protection. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but they was really looking for protection. So they chose the big buff degenerate dude. and rewarded him with pleasure instead of, you know, the nerd dude. Nerd dude gets slapped around, punked around. I mean, come on. It's a lot of dynamics here, man. You know, a lot of variables, and we have to look at them across the board. You see, and we got to look at the variables pertaining to Creflo Dollar, and the situation with his daughter. The dude was just trying to protect his daughter, and the two daughters got together against the father for 5-0. I think it's messed up because the police don't take care of them. That big house they stay in, the police, it's messed up, man. You know, it's really messed up, but it happens, man. You know, and young people do stupid stuff, you know, prodigal son, prodigal daughter type stuff. And Creflo understands that, you know, and it's a part of growing up. So I know he forgives him, he loves his daughter, and it just comes with the territory because of the society we in today. But I give Creflo Dollar the benefit of the doubt in that situation. And I don't know if I made the point, but young ladies, you never go anywhere, you know, with strangers. Number one, and number two, you don't drink. You know, if you're gonna drink, I got an article I never released, and it gives young girls advice on going to clubs and things you should do. And my father taught me this. He said, son, if you ever go to a party or club, bring your own drink because people can spike your stuff, man. And they notorious nowadays. They put stuff in a woman's drink and she's out, and you know they'll rape her. You know, so pops always said, you know, if you gonna fucking get loose, he used to tell my sister that if you gonna do your thing, cause you gonna do your thing, do it in the comfort of your own home. So that way, if you wig the fuck out, you in your own house, you know. But you're going out to hotels and clubs. There's some fucking monsters out there, man. You can't do that. You can't do that. I remember my homeboy Tay Tay. He was from Main Street Crip. And he was with this little 12-year-old girl. She was hell of a developed to be 12, too. And she was beautiful, too. She was 12. And he brought her over to 105th Street, the land of decadence, extreme decadence. They got that girl drunk. And more than 20 dudes ran up in her. I'll never forget that. And I'm like, Thomas, how could you do that to your girlfriend and share her with your homeboys? And there was a line of dudes. It was at my homeboy little Benny house. And they had her in the back seat of a Volkswagen Bug. And these dudes were just lined up, hitting her, man. She was out of it. And you had men who were members of the Main Street Crips who were in their 20s. That girl was 12. And there was puddles of semen just flowing between her legs and going down the seat of the car. It was a very unhygienic scene. And I just witnessed that and just like, man, you got to be careful, man. I don't understand how dudes, man, cannot want to be in their daughters' lives, man. We were always moral people, the Coopers. So my brother and my sister took the girl home. She stayed over there near Gramercy. And I always wonder, how did she turn out? Was she a hoe? Or is she a lesbian now or what? Because she was seriously violated. Then I remember my partner David, his sister, Lillian. She loved to get high. And one day she got high in public and passed the hell out. And those vermin, these niggas all from MSC, Main Street Crip. And Lillian was dark skinned. She really wasn't attractive, but she had these really big breasts, man. Physically, she was built. Not the best face, but she was built. And all the dudes wanted these feet. But even back in the hood, you couldn't get these girls. They really played hard to get. So getting them drunk and drugged up was a way that these guys got a lot of these girls. And Lillian, when these girls were in their right mind, they knew the dudes like they didn't give it up as fast as they, you know, give it up now. 70s and 80s, the cocaine, the drugs broke them down, so they started giving it up. But before then, you go back to the very early 80s, 70s, 60s, black girls didn't give it up like that. Lillian didn't give it up. And this was in the 80s. Kind of the crack had hit, but she still didn't give it up. But boy, she got on those hard drugs, the crack and the PCP, and one day she just wigged, she was just out. at the house next door to our house. And those vermin got a hold of that. Lillian is out. Them suckers ran over there. They dragged that girl by her arms in the back, pulled that girl pants down, and they had a field day on that girl, man. You cannot. I don't get it, man. And I know I sound like the most judgmental motherfucker on the planet. I don't know. You never do anything that's going to take you out of your mind. Not in this sick ass society. You ain't no fun. You don't have no fun. Fun can get you killed. When you look at the mask of life, it's a happy face. Another side is a sad face. And a lot of shit that starts off in laughter ends with a sad ass face, crying. It never fails. Never fails. You like to drink, huh? Now you got a DUI. Police be waiting on Friday, Saturday, Sunday night within reach of these clubs to catch people driving under the influence. It never fails. Most people get caught DUI. They're in the vicinity of a goddamn nightclub. It's set up, man. It's set up. But Djehuty just talking. Just talking. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this video here on my man Creflo. He was just trying to protect his daughter and just got caught up, It's amazing how you can spend your life working hard and those that you care for and love and take care of can tarnish it just like that. That man worked hard and his seed, his daughter, tarnished his image over something dealing with the Matrix. Creflo's image is tarnished now because his daughter wanted to go to a party. It's crazy. I could see if he did something. He didn't do nothing. That's why you got to be careful of who you're around, even in family, man. Because those who are closer to you can do you in. You watched Godfather Part 2? It was Fredo who did in his brother, Michael Corleone. Fredo did it. It never fails, man. That's why the scripture says a man's enemy, a day of his own household. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. A lot of time, enemies are in a house with you. That's going to do it, people. On behalf of dhealthstore.com, thank you for listening. And thank you for watching. Peace and love. You know people out there who want to be stimulated. I know I'm radical, but the job is being done as far as the mental stimulation. Send them here to the dhealthstore.com YouTube channel. Now, you ain't got time to be teaching and recommending books and stuff like that. You send them here because this is what we do day in and day out. We keep it real. Coming from Hollywood, California, there's no sellout. There's no sellout. We tell it how we know it. But in the process, we stimulate thought. We stimulate thought.